Oh boy, I actually get to play Waz's beta, and this time nothing will stop me from trying it out. So, PlayStation was down the entire weekend, and by the time that it came back, I had about 3 hours to play before I had to go do some other stuff. So yeah, this is the Monster Hunter World beta, in about as long as it takes me to get to the end of it. So yeah, let's go. Now, after choosing some quality of life settings, the game very quickly prompts us to make our character. In comparison to World, which I am just revisiting, this definitely feels a lot more fluid and quick, though it might just be a beta thing. But what certainly isn't, is how detailed this character creator is. If I hadn't had already a character look in mind, I probably would have taken way longer than I did. It is insane to me just how many options there already are, and even the Palico received a few more options too, including this one with... Yeah, that's better. Now, this isn't without reason, mind you, because at least from what they show us right away, this game will have a lot more emphasis on the story. In World, it definitely felt like it would lack impact a lot of the times, and while I can't talk about how Rise handles it, I know the world of Monster Hunter has so much story and background lore that is just outright amazing. So it is really nice to see that they're actually trying to give it justice. And what better way to do that than the same opening that every Monster Hunter game has. We're on a boat. And it looks amazing. Like, seriously. I thought this was a pre-render cutscene, but no, there's our character walking around. It just looks this good. Now, I'm not gonna summarize the story or anything yet. We'll get to that when the game's out. But yeah, we transition extremely smoothly into our first little tutorial, which is about how to steer the Secret, the chocobo-like mounts that the game is built around. While fairly on rails, I feel like this is a good opening, given how heavily involved these things seem to be in the actual game, as well as the return of the Slinger. These two paired together so well, with being able to attack while on the move. But after not too long, we're able to set up a camp and actually pick up a weapon. Now, the original plan was to try out the beta with the different weapons, but because someone I decided to go with good old reliable Charge Blade, the type of weapon that I've been using in our Worlds playthrough. And while I don't know how much content the beta has, might as well try it out a little bit, see what has changed and... It's ugly, but it'll do. This feels sluggish, to say the least. So let's try axe mode. I saw that it has some new moves that... Ooh, I like this. I like this a lot. It seems like they added a lot of recovery frames to sword and shield mode, and removed a few from axe mode. It makes them feel a lot more distinct. Plus, I really enjoyed the extra moves axe has. But hey, my time was ticking, and that's all I was able to figure out. So we hop on the Secret and we head out. We get to try out how it handles for a bit, before we come across our first monster. Froggy from Sonic Adventure. No, actually, this monster is called the Chatacabra. I really like how this monster looks, even if it doesn't have much of a cabra in it. Its attacks are pretty slow, its damage is forgiving, and if this is how the game is gonna start, then fine by me, because World has a ton of stuff before you even get to fight the Great Jagras. That being said, I still feel like I'm fighting thermal asses, so it goes as well as you can expect. I even tried to learn how to use the Focus Strike, but I don't think I really got it. I just know that you use it on a wound, and it deals a lot of damage. But sometimes I use it and it doesn't do anything. I'm guessing you can't really spam it, but there's no like bar to it, so I guess you can. Aside from that, learn how to use the circuit in battle, how to use SOS flares, which to be honest I never really used in World. But the fact that it actually calls in support NPCs at first is really nice, because sometimes nobody would answer them for a while. But anyways, we take out the Chatacabra without too much struggle, and from there the entire beta area gets open to us. Now, there are two differences that I would like to talk about. First, I would like to say I really like how seamless this expedition mode is. You generally just walk out of camp and are able to go into a hunt right away. It really is as open as it gets. Getting to find a monster out in its natural habitat and is starting to attack it to initiate a hunt, all the while you have to scare it away from its pack. It really does wonders in selling the fantasy. It isn't even that big of a deal that the map is so large, since you can close distance so fast while going on a mount, and the scout flights make sure that you won't really miss anything as you pass. And on a side note, I really love that you can actually skip the end sequence here. You have no idea how much I've been wishing for this type of option, where it genuinely is you're just sitting there for 50 seconds, doing nothing. Yes, my attention span is fraught, and second, the way the mount interacts with combat is genuinely so innovative. You can call it at any point, but it doesn't just appear next to you. Hell, sometimes you can actually close the distance with it, so that you can mount faster. You can still take actions while moving, so it keeps the pace of the game up, as well well as making it easier to dodge different attacks since you're moving even faster. All the while you can sharpen your weapons and stuff. And it can even carry a second weapon, so you can switch up your playstyle without having to go back to a camp. I really appreciate this change, honestly. It let me use the bow for a bit, a weapon that I've been trying to learn recently, while letting me switch back to my normal weapon after a bit. Now, is it a bit clunky? More than a bit, but like the new attack patterns, I feel like it's something that you'll just get used to with time. And with an hour half-ish left of time, we're able to finish our first optional hunt. I actually got to practice a lot of the different timings now, got to use dunk pods for the first time, because I refrained from using them before, and get some practice in with using the secret. And while I wouldn't say this monster was hard, I did get carded once. To be honest, I don't even know what it was, I just kinda imploded. But honestly, I'm kinda used to it at this point. So, after returning to HQ, I see that our handler only has one optional quest left for me to do. I have no clue what monster this is, but hey, let's give it a shot. Do you all ever just sit there and think, am I the problem? The answer is yeah. Arkveld here is an absolute monster. You get it? They are extremely aggressive, will actively hunt you down if you're on low health, and have an insane reach. It has this weird chain-like appendages on each arm, and he will throw them at you all the time. Like, a good amount of his attacks are just pretty bad, isn't it? Well, for some godforsaken reason, it can pump energy into them and make everything explode. And again, and again. It also moves extremely fast, to the point where sometimes the only good way to get away is to get on the circuit and just hightail it out of there. I get rolled my first attempt, dying the most. So sorry everyone. I realized that I didn't bring as many items as I could, so before next attempt I go to attempt to restock, only to realize that I don't have all the items for some of these loadouts. But with that loss, my time was running out. Just queue for it back again. I tried playing a lot more defensive, making sure to dodge more and stay further on the back. And when it did approach, I made sure to use my guard points to stay alive as long as possible. But I don't know its patterns that well, so a lot of time I just ended up getting hit anyways. While it only fell once, it was still enough for the entire party to be countered a wipe. But we did make a lot more progress, for one. Hell, it even felt like he was stalling the timer by leaving that area to essentially the other side of the map. I had to essentially bull my way back, taking this very weird but very cool side route. I had about 30 minutes before I really had to stop playing, so I just grit my teeth and went in for one last try. But this time I went for something a little bit different. This time, I'm focusing on offense. I mean, the axe mode has so many more combos, so maybe that's what I'm not really taking advantage of. In all honesty, this was a Hail Mary attempt, but it actually worked, somehow. Well, I still needed to regularly turn around and retreat to heal. We were able to have it move locations a lot more frequently. We even reached the area where I lost last time, and at some point, in Monster Hunter fashion, this other monster came in and started fighting the monster we were hunting with us. It all came up to a point where one of my teammates was able to consistently keep knocking the monster down, and we just wailed on it with all we had until it just... That is genuinely satisfying. And with about 10-ish minutes left on the clock, I'm able to close the game down and leave having done as much as I could. Thankfully there's a second date for this, but I can at least say that I played a good amount of what the beta has to offer. And I gotta say that I am extremely excited to play this entire game. It looks so fun, and while I don't really know how I ended up in lobbies with other people a good amount of the time, it really was a lot of fun getting to have team play, being able to run around healing others, or seeing one person knock the monster down, only for everyone else to come in running and get some hits in. And like I promised before, this next beta period, I will be playing it with all of you, since our Discord server is now operational. The plan so far is to run some hunts with y'all, so if that sounds like something fun to you, feel free to hop into the Discord server. We'll have more details on the plan soon. Plus, it really helps grow this little community that we have. You guys have shown so much support to this channel. It means the world to me. So hey, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to drop a like. And if you enjoy my style of content, then feel free to subscribe. I have a lot more in the works. We'll be wrapping up Monster Hunter World Iceborne soon, and for sure we'll be covering Wilds when it comes out. And I hope I get to share it with y'all. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have. Bye! Take care!